Greetings, plant enthusiasts! Welcome back! Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the wonderful world of succulents. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore not only how to separate succulents, but also how to propagate, arrange, and care for them. Succulents are beloved for their hardiness and ease of propagation, making them a favorite among plant enthusiasts. By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge and confidence to not only separate succulents, but also nurture them into thriving, beautiful plants. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our plant care tutorials and tips. The importance of separating succulents. Before we dive into the how, let's discuss the why. Why should you learn how to separate succulents? First and foremost, propagation. Separating succulents is a fantastic way to multiply your collection. Whether you're sharing the green love with friends, trading with fellow succulent enthusiasts, or simply expanding your garden, propagating succulents is both rewarding and enjoyable. Second, arrangement and design. Separated succulents provide you with the creative freedom to craft beautiful displays. Be it a succulent wreath, a vertical garden, or an exquisite dish garden, by mastering the art of separation, you unlock endless possibilities for imaginative plant arrangements. Essential tools and materials. Now, let's cover the essential tools and materials required for the separation process. The good news is that you won't need anything overly complex. Here's what you'll need. Number 1. Succulents. Naturally, you'll need the succulents you wish to separate. Number 2. Clean and sharp scissors or pruning shears. These will allow you to make precise and clean cuts. Number 3. Gloves. Optional but helpful, especially when handling prickly succulents. Number 4. Well-draining potting mix, essential for repotting the separated plants. Number 5. Pots or containers to transplant the separated succulents. Number 6. Rooting hormone powder, particularly useful for leaf or stem cuttings. Separating succulents, leaf cuttings. Let's begin with one of the most popular methods of succulent separation, leaf cuttings. This method is commonly used for succulents like Echeveria, Sedum, and Grassula. Start by selecting a healthy leaf from the parent plant. Use your scissors or pruning shears to make a clean, precise cut, ensuring you have the entire leaf intact. Allow the leaf cutting to sit in a dry, shaded spot for a day or two until the cut end callus is over. Once the cut end has calloused, plant the leaf cutting in a pot with well-draining soil mix. Water sparingly and keep the soil lightly moist until you notice signs of new growth, typically within a few weeks. Remember, succulents propagate at their own pace, so patience is key. Separating succulents, offset division. The next method we'll explore is offset division, an excellent technique for succulents that produce offsets or pups, such as Sempervivum, Haworthia, and Aloe. Begin by gently removing the entire plant from its current pot or container. Exercise caution to avoid damaging the roots. Look for offsets or pups. These are smaller plants that have grown at the base of the parent plant. Use your clean scissors or pruning shears. Carefully cut the offset from the parent plant, ensuring you get some roots with it. Transplant the offset into its individual pot filled with well-draining soil mix. Water lightly and place it in bright, indirect light. Separating succulents, stem cuttings. Our third method for succulent separation is stem cuttings. This technique is suitable for succulents with a stem, such as jade plants and various Sinicho varieties. Begin by taking a healthy stem cutting, ensuring it's a few inches long. Remove any leaves from the lower part of the cutting, leaving a clean stem. Allow the cut end to callus over for a day or two, just with leaf cuttings. Once the cut end is calloused, place the stem cutting in well-draining soil mix. If you wish for a fuller appearance, you can plant multiple stem cuttings in the same pot. Water sparingly, and over time, the stem cutting will develop roots and new growth. Arranging separated succulents. Now that you're well versed in separating succulents, let's discuss arranging them to create stunning displays. When arranging succulents, consider factors like color, size, and shape. Mixing different succulent varieties can create visually appealing contrasts. You can arrange them in various containers, terrariums, or even vertical gardens. Ensure that the container or arrangement site has proper drainage, as succulents despise sitting in water. Place your succulents in their new home, adding or adjusting soil as needed. Water lightly after arranging and allow them some time to acclimate to their surroundings. Expert care tips for separated succulents. To ensure the success of your separated succulents, here are some expert care tips. Number 1. Light. Most succulents prefer bright, indirect sunlight. Avoid direct afternoon sun as it can scorch their leaves. Number 2. Watering. Allow the soil to dry out completely between waterings. Overwatering is a common issue with succulents, so water sparingly. Number 3. Temperature. Keep your succulents in a temperature range of 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 27 degrees Celsius. While they can tolerate some variation, avoid exposing them to extreme cold or heat. Number 4. Pot and soil. Always use well-draining soil mix and pots with drainage holes to prevent root rot. Number 5. Fertilization. Succulents are not heavy feeders. Use a diluted, balanced, water-soluble fertilizer during their active growing season, typically spring and summer, and avoid fertilizing in the dormant season. Troubleshooting common issues. Despite your best efforts, succulents can sometimes encounter issues. Let's address a few common problems and how to tackle them. Number 1. Overwatering. If you notice your succulent's leaves turning mushy and yellow, you may be overwatering. Reduce watering frequency and ensure proper drainage. Number 2. Underwatering. Succulents can show signs of stress like wrinkled leaves when they're not getting enough water. Adjust your watering schedule accordingly. Number 3. Pests. Common pests like mealybugs and spider mites can plague succulents. Inspect your plants regularly, and if you spot pests, treat them with insecticidal soap or neem oil. Number 4. Leggy growth. If your succulents are stretching towards the light and becoming leggy, they likely need more sunlight. Move them to a brighter location. You have just watched the video on how to separate succulents, easy steps for propagation and arrangement. In this video, you learned about the importance of separating succulents, the essential tools and materials, the process of separating succulents, the tips for arranging separated succulents, and the troubleshooting of common issues. Let's recap on what we discussed, as well as some suggestions for further action. Separating succulents is a way of propagating new plants from existing ones. It can help you save money, create more variety, and prevent overcrowding in your pots. Separating succulents can also improve the health and appearance of your plants. It can help prevent root rot, fungal infestations, pests, and diseases. It can also encourage more growth, flowering, and color. To separate succulents, you will need a sharp knife or scissors, a clean pot or tray, a well-draining soil mix, and a spray bottle with water. You will also need some gloves and a label or a marker. Arranging separated succulents can be a very fun and creative way of displaying your plants. You can use different pots, trays, containers, or even frames to create your own succulent garden. You can also mix and match different types, colors, shapes, and sizes of succulents to create contrast and harmony. You can follow some basic design principles, such as using odd numbers, creating focal points, and leaving some space between the plants. You can also add some accessories, such as rocks, pebbles, shells, or figurines to enhance the aesthetic and texture of your arrangement. Separating succulents can sometimes encounter some problems, such as rotting, wilting, shriveling, or yellowing. These can be caused by various factors, such as improper cutting, infection, overwatering, underwatering, too much or too little light, or temperature changes. To prevent these issues, you should follow the steps and tips mentioned earlier. You should also use clean and sharp tools, sterilize the wounds, water sparingly, provide adequate light, and protect from extreme weather. To treat these issues, you should identify the cause and take appropriate action. You can remove the affected parts, apply some fungicide or insecticide, adjust the watering and lighting, or move the plants to a more suitable location. Separating succulents is a rewarding and enjoyable activity that can help you propagate and arrange your plants. It can also improve the health and beauty of your succulents. By following the steps and tips in this video, you can successfully separate succulents and create your own succulent garden. Congratulations! You've now mastered the art of separating succulents, from propagation to arrangement and care. With these newfound skills, you can expand your succulent collection and create breathtaking displays. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow plant enthusiasts. And if you have any questions or wish to share your own succulent separation success stories, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you all. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, keep those thumbs green and may your succulents flourish.